All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to SPCS, where the playoffs are finally here. It's a win or go home match for these two teams tonight as Full Sail Armada takes on Errxrless Vale. My name is Dexatron. That is Nyah. Nyah, we have a really good game on our hands here against two teams that, I mean, you could talk about maybe having potentially a little bit of a rough season, but have shown signs of improvement here as it's gone on.
Yeah, and taking a look at that intermediate division, both of those teams have been fighting for their lives. 2-3 records standing in between both of them. But something that's interesting about them is how these teams take these maps. So as we get to see the map differential, it's a bit of a stretch, right? So you're getting to see an 8-11 and a 6-10. Something could mess up there, depending upon what the teams run here, especially with their compositions. But I expect these teams, because it is a competitive match, it's going to be extremely fast-paced. These teams are not going to be wanting to lose this because, hey, it's a win or go home.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about the map differentials here and the amount of maps played. Errxrless Vale has been one of those teams that either they've gotten swept or swept a team. The only week that's not the case was week 1 when they went up against Oceanside. They won that one in 4. That was their only series that's gone past the minimum amount of maps that you could play here. So a team that either wins fast or sadly doesn't here, but they're looking to really bounce back here tonight. Both these teams coming off that week 5 of Swiss, both with a loss, and like I said, both with getting swept here. So they're looking to improve. We know from Full Sail here, based off the questions we were able to ask and the answers we were able to get, they're not putting a lot of pressure on this game here. They even said like, hey, yeah, we know it's win or go home, but we don't want that pressure to be on the players and force any mistakes.
Yeah, these players want to just keep on moving forward. They don't want to take this loss out of this tournament. They want to keep on fighting for their life and their team's sake. But yeah, definitely for sure, these teams want to stay up in this and be very, very much consistent because, if they make that mistake here, Dex, it will be unfortunately the end for them.
Yeah, a big bracket in this tier. We don't know if we're gonna be able to show it. But I mean, it's big. I mean, you saw it there. There was 28 or 30 teams. There is a lot of games that will be played in this intermediate tier. So this could be one of the more interesting tiers to kind of watch from afar as it goes on here. But this should be a great series here tonight. But Nyah, just like every great series, we have to start off with a map. But just like every series, it seems like we know what map that is going to be.
Yeah, and it's going to be Lijiang Tower, so we get to see a lot of compositions played there. I wouldn't be surprised if Brawl was picked. Dive could also be an option. I do like teams bringing out a poke type composition here, but as I said, there's so much variables to this map and matchup that both of the teams could run, but I expect these two teams to run something that's going to favor them in a very, very important and extreme way.
Yeah, and we were kind of told by Mist for Full Sail that we should really expect to see the two different compositions from a team, really depending on who is running the tank here. We won't leak those just yet, but once we get into the games and start to see who's playing, we'll start to talk about a little bit more. But we are starting to see those hero bans come in as well now. I believe Full Sail banning out the Pharah here to start, which, I mean, Pharah does find a couple good, does find a decent amount of value on this map, especially one like Gardens. And on the other side, Errxrless is going to be banning out the Juno, which always kind of seems like to be that first ban you see almost every game.
Yeah, it's great bans for both of the teams here for this control map matchup here for our first one in between these two. But yeah, if you are Full Sail Armada, I like this pick of the, Pharah. It takes out that aerial, space. You really don't got to worry about that Pharah, but you still got an Echo that you could possibly worry about. But taking out the Juno, that is pretty important as well. You aren't going to have that, brawly backline with the Juno Brig. More to expect probably Kiri Lucio heading up into it just to get a little more fast.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that either here, but with tanks, I mean, this is a map, and like I say, with every kind of control map, you can see a lot of different compositions come out here, so we could be seeing a decent number of tanks come through, especially with this recent patch we had only yesterday, and the changes that were made. Remember, it wasn't much, the changes weren't really
So much
much to
perk
like the
updates.
actual kits. They were actually made to a lot of the perks.
Yeah.
What do you necessarily think is going to be the go-to tank for this series here, or at least this map?
That is actually a great question because there's multiple things that you could run here, but I feel like teams might still run what was used to them back then, but you could try something here new tonight and mess it up. So maybe you just stick to that plan. But look at these rosters here, Dex. We got Full Sail Armada and Errxrless Val. Talking about Full Sail Armada, they are coming up into this with a interesting look, right? They want to get their way back up in. They don't want to lose, right? Same with Errxrless.
Yeah, no team wants to come into a series and say, hey, it's okay if we lose, but neither teams want to do that. It's a playoff gun, so there's going to be a little bit more pressure put on the teams no matter what the coaches or players really say about it. They know there is that pressure to perform here. But, I mean, you look at the roster here, Full Sail Armada, a significantly deep roster when you compare it to Errxrless Veil here. Does have room
Yeah.
for a lot of subs, and we have been told, and like we kind of mentioned here, there will be probably some movement at the tank position here, just depending on what kind of composition they want to play. This Full Sail team is ready to play any type of map.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting to see what the Full Sail team could do. And as we get to see the stats here coming out, they haven't played this Lijiang Tower just yet, but you look at the Busan, right? You have Full Sail taking that over Errxrless, and same with Samoa. So they have something over this Errxrless team, but hey, we're up on a different map. This is a decider now for both of the teams. Who's going to win it? We don't know. And that's something that we're about to get to see.
Yeah, I love that Lijiang Tower was not in the map pool for any of the first 5 weeks of the season, and the first chance we get to see it, or the first chance that any team gets to pick it, we get to see it here. And it looks like we'll be starting off on Gardens here, and this is what we were kind of told here. Diz is the tank that is mostly known for being the brawly tank here for Full Sail. They love to play this Ramatra comp.
Yeah, this is going to be so exciting here. So Full Sail Armada, they're going to be getting out of this one, as well as Errxrless with that Sim TP. So both teams going pretty quick to the spawn.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, Full Sail Armada is going to have to be ready for Shubu here on this ball. If they get just absolutely trapped by the ball, they're going to have a lot of problems here. I will always say Wrecking Ball is that one tank that if you just let them have free reign to whatever they want, your team has already pretty much lost any team fight.
Yeah, so let's see what Full Sail Armada does. I really like this composition, though.
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple good counters here to the Wrecking Ball here. I mean, if Mist is able to land a flashbang, could stop him, but Turbo going to be able to find Mist out here early on, and that should lead Errxrless Veil here to potentially find this first fight when even the first point cap as your boy takes care of Ray right there. Now it's just the cleanup crew. Grofgar going to be able to find Diz, and yeah, Errxrless Veil starting off strong here.
Yeah, Errxrless Veil, as you said, starting off pretty much strong here. They are setting the statement here for this introduction for themselves. But, yeah, if you are Full Sail Armada, you could possibly get back up into this one. All Diz needs to do is try and look on a slow here with this Ramatra.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they're going to go through White Room here. Errxrless Veil is ready for it. And you saw Diz right there, kind of look quickly left to right. They're watching to try to find where Shubu is. Shubu in that backline. There's the burrow coming out there from Grofgar. But Miss going to be able to find Nyah boy out. So a lot of that speed for Errxrless Veil is gone. Levi going to be taken out as well. And this should be Full Sail, just taking the point right back. But Shubu on this ball can stall this point out for a significantly long time, and Turbo's still alive as well. But right now, if you're Full Sail, hey, you got rid of Turbo. Now just get rid of this pesky Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, and Full Sail is selling their way to possibly this, contest here to get this capture. And as we get to see, this aggression with the mines, but as well Diz just going in, eliminating, is impressive.
And I love how they're playing this right now. I mean, you force the beat out from the other side. That's how bad that Full Sail wants this point. Look, they still haven't even recapped it. They finally get it right there with Ray being able to find Turbo out. So now Errxrless going to slowly reset here. But if you're Shubu, hey, you don't really have to reset as ball. Just do your thing.
Yeah, and you're sitting at a 60% here, so if you still want to definitely get aggressive up in those early, tight corners, you can definitely do it because you're going to have Kitsune Rush, B-Matrix coming up, and also a Pulse Bomb that Turbo can look for here for Errxrless. But the Kitsune Rush...
Dash still going to be able to find Turbo out as that Kitsune Rush comes out. You do see two members of Full Sail already fighting two members of the other side. Hey, the Kitsune Rush came out there for Errxrless. That's one big ultimate that is dead and gone. No value coming from it there. Full Sail, a great team fight for them.
Yeah, and Full Sail is now reading this, statement that Errxrless is trying to make against them. They aren't getting that momentum much more. I think Full Sail here has them controlled. If you look at the ult economy here, Dex, Full Sail has 3 ultimates over Errxrless, so I expect Full Sail to have something for an introduction.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is they don't have any support ultimates here. An ultimate like Tectonic Shock from Grofgar could be deadly to them. Beat coming out from your boy to keep everyone alive as Grofgar already finds one right there onto Mist. Annihilation, though, just trying to get rid of your boy here. Will be able to do a lot of damage as Dash finds 2 there early on. Hey, that Annihilation still alive and kicking till that moment right there. Errxrless Veil not going to really invest anything else into this engagement here, but they at least got something out from Full Sail Armada. But at this point, if you're Errxrless Veil, I mean, you're gonna keep this contest alive, and hey, you got the Deadeye out. I mean, I guess this is worth it to them.
Yeah, so very much interesting, but, Shubu does get taken out there, but Errxrless Veil can come back with those 2 DPS ultimates. I expect Turbo to touch this one, maybe get a nice Pulse Bomb out of it, but they got to be aware of what Full Sail has, right? That Genji Blade could do some devastational damage.
And Errxrless Veils needs this point, or this fight, to last a little bit here. They're not that far away from mines. This could devastate Full Sail. Here comes the Tectonic Shock. They immediately use the dash to get into that backline. They find Ray, but they will trade out their own life here. Now, though, Shubu will find Mist. They have the minefield ready to go, but here comes the blade. It finds one. Dash looking for a second one right here. Did try to find Turbo. Not going to be able to do it just yet. Turbo still holding on to that pulse bomb here. Looking for the target. Finds the long arm stick right there. The beat from Rain just a little bit too late there. But Full Sail still heavily investing in this fight. And at the moment, both sides, I mean, you see them, they're just prepping for staggers.
Yeah, and maybe Turbo can focus out this support line here to possibly get something. You get to see Rain there, half HP, but yeah, Full Sail still taking control of this, I'd probably still say.
Ooh, if Mist can find this pick on the Levi, it would be huge for them, but they're not going to be able to. Turbo instead finds Mist right back out. Now, if you're Full Sail, you lose Rain as well. Diz will find your boy, trying to get rid of Grofgar, but Grof going to be able to keep themselves alive and kicking here. Again, both these teams basically have members just ready to go. They invest Annihilation in this fight. This is huge for them. The Stews are going to be able to keep Grofgar alive as they burrow themselves into the ground here. Diz, I think this is a huge mistake coming out from them.
Oh, no. Yeah, and as we get to see, Diz gets taken out, same with Rain, and Errxrless Veil just keeps on controlling this, and the momentum is now shifted up in their favor here, Dex. Now we're getting to see Errxrless Veil come back up into this situation with Kitsune Rush, plus they are charging up some other ultimates too, so you're going to see Errxrless in a good set position against Full Sail Armada, which Diz isn't even close to an Annihil.
No, and I mean, if they lose this point we're going to talk about, and if we lose this map, we will definitely talk about that. Annihilation use for them might have really just hurt them here. I mean, you look at what Errxrless Veil's coming up to here. You talked about they are now in the driver's seat with everything. There's the Kitsune Rush coming out. Ray has to build up to theirs here, but Grofgar already finds Mist out, who makes a swap. Ray not even going to build up to their Kitsune Rush.
Oh my gosh. We just got to see that. I mean, Dex, that was absolutely insane. But as we got to see here, Full Sail Armada does fall a tad bit short there. I still feel like the mistake there of the Annihilation was a little unfortunate, but now you're getting to see Errxrless Veil in a very, very good position. Shubu still playing this Wrecking Ball, pretty viable. The backline support compositions from both of the teams are definitely putting up in that work, I'd probably say. But still, that mistake coming out of Full Sail Armada was very, very unfortunate. I feel like Diz wanted just a tad bit more with that Annihilation, but couldn't find it in those, opposition situations. But as we can see, Errxrless Veil and Full Sail Armada rolling out a spawn here with both of these TPs, and Errxrless Veil and Full Sail trying to take this fight up on this objective.
I mean, Errxrless, they just take the TP out. They have the speed to get the point here. Grofgar somehow staying alive through all that, and this is what I was going to talk about here. This is a very scary point to be a team going up against a Wrecking Ball comp. You already see Dash get knocked off. Shubu has just so much range here to do whatever they want for free, and you have really no one on the other side that can shut them down, especially when your boy is finding two.
Yeah, Mans is cooking up on the Lucio right now. And yeah, as I said, kind of quoted, these support backlines are definitely putting up in the work for both the teams here. Full Sail Armada, though, making some switches as we get to see a Sombra and Tracer getting picked here for Full Sail. So maybe the hacks could be huge up on the Shubu here, depending upon how they position this. It needs to be very, very important.
Yeah, and I mean, you just need something to slow down Shubu here. That was the biggest thing that Full Sail Armada really struggled with last point. Just allowing Shubu to do what they wanted. So now that you have Dash on this Sombra, you should be able to hack them out. Not going to be able to find there, but you do at least force out some utility there from them. But again, you're not finding the kills here. And Diz, we know that they aren't necessarily the most comfortable on the Wrecking Ball here, but they're kind of being forced to play it here at the moment. Turbo going to be able to find Ray in that backline. You lose Mist as well. And I mean, it's almost kind of a repeat of what we saw in the first fight.
Yeah, I totally agree here with you. And Errxrless Veil, they are just, still controlling this situational awareness of Full Sail Armada. Full Sail Armada is making these mistakes against Errxrless Veil. And with Veil reading those mistakes that Full Sail is doing, it's great coordination in between the whole entire team. But Errxrless Veil, they are set pretty good with ultimates as we get to see their auto economy. They're about to have 3 to 4.
And they're about to have 3 to 4. Hell, they're about to have all 5 here, and really finding Mist out early on. If you can get rid of Diz here, you are looking at a fight where you don't have to invest any ultimates, and then the next fight would be your final fight here. But right now, Full Sail doing a good job just keeping this damage down here. Rain actually be able to find Turbo, will force out 2 ultimates from the other side here. Rain, though, will lose their life, and it looks like Errxrless should be able to hold on to the point here for the moment, but Dash not going to be able to escape.
Yeah, and as we get to see, the ball is still just trying to do something for Full Sail Armada. They need to get some point percentage here, but as we get to see here, Dex, it's not going to go up in their favor.
And like I said, we're going to talk about the mistakes that came out from Full Sail on that first point, but unless we see a huge play come out from them right now, overtime is out. Your boy already taking out Rain right there. The beat from them, going to be able to keep them alive as well, and now you're just picking off every member of the Armada one by one here. Errxrless Veil. Hey, they had a pretty good performance here on this map. Full Sail, like I said, one costly mistake might have cost them this map.
Yeah, and, we will be able to get to talk about that, and I think something to say about that map is Full Sail Armada, that first points, right, to the Gardens, they had a great setup for them. They were working well, but as you said, that mistake of that annihilation that we got to see, it was very unfortunate. Diz wanted to try to find a little more momentum for a builder for Full Sail Armada, but they didn't get that momentum that they were trying to find, and that mistake very much costed them, but Errxrless Veil, they are in a great position here, and they are up a point, and having a team that reads that mistake over and over and over again, like how we got to see up on the secondary, I gotta say, if you're Errxrless, you're kind of set, but that was just map 1. I expect map 2 to be a lot more closer here for Full Sail Armada to tie up this series, but yeah, Full Sail Armada, you still got choices to pick.
Yeah, and the reason why, like, I don't ever want to go after a mistake too much, but why that was such a costly mistake was because they still had one fight guaranteed after that fight. It was already, you already lost 3 members before you popped. You immediately lost your fourth teammate and your final healer right as you did pop it there. That was a long uphill battle going into it. At that point, you need to hold on to it because you still had a little bit of an ult lead on Errxrless if you hold on to it there. Because Errxrless, I mean, they were coming up to their ultimates, but they weren't going to have them right away. So it's just one of those things where, again, I don't want to hark on a little bit too much, but that was a very, very costly mistake. But they have the chance to bounce back here. They will have the next map pick. And remember, we could see the tank rotate in and out here. We were told that, they're normally, that tank, Diz, is normally the one that likes to play a little bit of brawl. So playing the Wrecking Ball, you did see him kind of struggle a little bit, especially when you compare him to how Shubu was playing on that Wrecking Ball for Errxrless.
Yeah, so yeah, substitutions can definitely come out here. That's probably something that I expect with the compositions going forward for them, and that might just full set, that basic composition that they need to find some answers, right? So yeah, Full Sail Armada, they're in a great position here, I would probably say. Now you got your map choice, you could pick these bands, but, Errxrless Veil, you are basically set. If you win another map, you are on the match point.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to be feeling great about your performance there. I mean, you came back basically on that first point, and then the second point, Full Sail never really found a footing there. I believe they maybe only got one pick that entire last point. I mean, you came together as a team there if you're Errxrless and played a really, really good first map. But hey, looks like Full Sail has decided that they're going to bring us to Servasa for our second map of the night. And Nyah, Flashpoint map, I look at it as something where it's a little, you want to run a little bit fast, but we have seen teams try to slow it down here recently.
Yeah, Servasa, teams could play a little slower, like how you did say. I would probably expect a Brig to get played here. I know the perk did get upgraded here for those, Brig players that do favor Brig. But, yeah, Servasa, great matchup here for both of the teams. I expect this one to be definitely a lot more closer here. We could get to see Brawl. Probably more Rush could be coming out here from both. But as you said, it's a different composition, seen here from both. Different tank here, maybe.
Yeah, different tank, but we're just waiting on the bans right now. We do know what the first one is coming out from Full Sail, and it really does shock me considering how good the Wrecking Ball was last map, but they're going after the Venture instead. Want to get rid of the Rock Muncher here pretty early on.
Yeah, very, very interesting choice. I would probably, Yeah, if I were Full Sail, I probably wouldn't target the Venture. I feel like the Wrecking Ball did a lot more damage up in that scenario. You got to see the Wrecking Ball always there, taking those corners, setting that pressure onto you, but maybe they're waiting for that pick, to ban, later up on. But Errxrless Vel, we are waiting up on for you, and now I wonder, Errxrless Vel, you're sitting up a point here against Full Sail, and you got to see an entry composition from them. Do you target something that they ran, or do you just kind of guess?
I think if you're going to go after anything here, if you're Errxrless, you maybe go after a Cassidy. That seemed to be the biggest thing that really slowed down the Wrecking Ball comp here. And that is if you truly want to play it here. Actually, no, you can't ban out Cassidy. The DPS ban already came in here. You could try to ban out tank, really force maybe Full Sail to make that swap into their other tank just to see what you got here, or you just stick what you did last time, go after another support, get rid of something like the Kiri, even though both sides found value with it, maybe something like the Lucio as well, force out a different kind of playstyle from these two teams.
Yeah, I would like to see a support ban here. It can definitely change up that composition pace. The tempo could be huge there in between both of the teams, but as we just got word, the ban here for Errxrless Vel is actually going to be a tank ban, and Ramatra is going to be that one, as we get to see there up in our little scene. And I gotta say, this is a great choice.
This is a great choice, but remember, Full Sail now hasn't that opportunity here to make a sub, so they could bring in that other tank, the one that we were kind of told is a little bit more akin to running some dive tank, some different kind of faster composition tank. So we could see, a very, very fast, almost a mirror here. I could see a Wrecking Ball coming out here for both sides.
Hey, who's to say until we get to see it, right?
Yeah.
Saravasa.
That's a shock.
Oh my gosh.
How do you not play Saravasa?
So I think we know what team is set here. I would be very, very surprised if they lose this. But as we can see, they did lose 3 times.
Oh, actually, wait. You want to know what? It's actually Diz. I read it wrong. Diz is actually their Winston and Ball tank. So they came out on the Ramatra on that first map. That threw me for a little bit of a loop there. So we could be seeing a Ball v Ball or even the Winston come out here. But I mean, if you're Full Sail,
hey, staring us down.
It's not. We don't have Orange, but we do have Mr. Mountain Mike. And hey, it's Saravasa. You're always gonna see pigeons here. But look what Diz is coming out with here. The Queen,
and this is
I think a great pick here for this map.
Yeah, I definitely agree here. This is something that I kind of quoted for Full Sail to bring out something different. But, as we get to see here, Diz running out with that rush. But Errxrless Vel still sitting pretty comfortable with that Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, and you already see Shibu getting in that backline where they're trying to get after Rain. But, I mean, your boy, they have been someone who's just been a menace on the DJ so far. And getting rid of Ray here pretty early on. Full Sail trying to get this point capped up. Turbo going to be able to find Dash. I mean, Full Sail just trying to get something going here. A little bit of a cap, a little bit of percentage, but they're not going to be able to. Hell, the only one that's going to be able to escape is Mist.
Yeah, so Mist does take that one out there. Full Sail Armada will be able to regroup here. Errxrless Vel, though, great introduction to this Saravasa. Your boy has been popping off up on this Lucio, but same as Levi. I like what they've been doing up on that support line, but I feel like Full Sail Armada, with the composition that they have, all they need to do is look for a certain pick and capitalize up on it.
Well, looks like they try to focus out a Grofgar right there, but instead it's going to be your boy again, starting it off, finding Ray. Rain's out as well. There goes your support line. There goes your tank. And now if you're the DPS here for Full Sail, yeah, you're not that far away from joining your team in the spawn.
Yeah, and, a little bit of a remembrance from map 1. This is kind of something that we're getting to see again, where Errxrless Vel is reading the scenario of Full Sail when they engage off of these fights. And Full Sail Armada, they're trying to get a fight win. They're trying to put this pressure up on the Errxrless Vel, but stuff is not clicking for them. If you are Full Sail Armada, you have missed up on Tracer, maybe try and force out this Suzu of Levi. I think that could be the best scenario.
And I think you might have already seen it coming out there from Levi on that high ground. Pulse Bomb, though, not going to be able to find the stick this time around, but Rain does find the first pick on the Turbo here. Shubu trying to do what they can. They're bowling through and pile driving down, but right now, if you're Errxrless Veil here, if you win this fight, you win this point, and you're already starting off this map incredibly well here, but hey, a lost fight here is not necessarily the end of the world. Levi gonna be able to find Dash, and I mean, that's normally how it's all started here. Nice boop away there by Ray, gonna force them to use that swift up. Pile drive coming out there from Diz on the point. Suzu already invested, but Rain invests the beat into this one here. You can see how badly Full Sail wants this, and I mean, Errxrless Veil outside the Pulse Bomb is still holding on to all their stuff. There's the beat coming out from your boy, as now Errxrless Veil is gonna go on the full out attack here, looking for anyone they can. There's the minefield, and you see what that does to Full Sail Armada. It's basically forcing them to play in corners, play in places they do not want to. And I mean, they're doing a good job staying alive to the mines. And hey, look, Diz already with the minefield of their own on point.
Yeah, and they are using this alt economy here very, very well here if you are Errxrless Veil. And as we get to see them cap this objective, they're going to be moving towards the next one here. So I gotta say, they are playing a lot better up in this ultimate economy battle against Full Sail Armada. Stuff that I've been seeing here, Dex, is when Full Sail Armada goes up into an engage fight, it's kind of like they're panicking. They're wasting too much opportunities, and they're kind of forcing these ultimates just a bit too early.
I like this early fight coming up from both sides right here, and finding your boy who's been a constant problem for you is a great thing, but you're immediately going to lose your own life there. Point, though, is open, and Error going to try to get the first cap here, but, I mean, enough of Full Sail is here to try to stall this out a little bit.
Yeah, so we get to see Mist here with that Pulse Bomb. I do expect Mist to get up onto that backline to force more of that Suzu, but Blade
comes out trying to find Rain, but they get the beat off just in time. One more swipe and they would have been toasted, and hey, we would have seen an Ajax. Now the Blade coming out from the other side as Diz finds Levi, and now Full Sail. They're looking like a much different team than what we saw in that first map, and hey, even though they lost that final fight on the first point, you could see that they were starting to piece it all together.
So here we go. Full Sail is now selling their boats, and you know, I gotta say, they are doing a good job here as in the moment. Errxrless Veil, though, they have two ultimates coming back, and looking at that ultimate economy up on the side of the Armada, they only have Mists, but Diz will have the same mine ultimate of Shubu, so kind of the same thing looking at it.
Minefields coming out from Shubu pretty early on. Luckily, Rain, though, they have a get out jail free card there with riding the wall. However, you can't really escape as someone who's running at you with a blade. Same thing for Grofgar. Even though they just hit the Rain, will end up losing their own life to Dash there. But still, Full Sail doing a good job holding on to the point here. Minefields coming out from Diz as well. That's why you're seeing Errxrless kind of play away from the point at the moment. Shubu trying to get the bowl off, and they're going to be able to get rid of Ray here. Now they can find one more. This should be point going over to them here. Yep, they find Dash. Now they're focusing in on Rain. Rain gonna be taken out by Turbo. Mist will be able to find your boy, though, and now all you have to do is get rid of Diz here, and you should be able to take the point. But looks like Diz might.
Oh.
Nope, they're gonna stall it out as long as they can here.
That's actually a great play here from Full Sail Armada, because now Full Sail Armada really don't need to worry, right? So they can come back up into this one. You're sitting at a nice 90%. Errxrless Veil, though, something to worry about is Turbo's Pulse Bomb, right? You don't want that getting up onto your back. That could definitely force those abilities, so you definitely gotta watch out for that.
And one thing, look at the balls here. They're both over halfway to their next minefield. Remember, they used those in the last fight. They've been able to build this up incredibly quickly.
Oh, your boy.
Coming out from your boy. Shubu gonna be able to find Rain, as they are looking for those bowling opportunities here, but everyone on Full Sail just trying to run away. Diz gonna pile drive down, immediately use those shields, as Mist gonna be able to find your boy after those shields fade away here. Errxrless, though, just trying to hold on to this point as long as they can. Hey, finding Mist right out there gets rid of a lot of that backline pressure. Pile drive down, but hey, you still have to worry about Dash if you're the Turbo, trying to focus in here on Diz, but again, we talked about it, the Wrecking Balls, they are just resilient to so much. The minefields, though, yeah, they do a lot of damage to you, especially if you decide to land on one.
Yeah, Shubu has been popping off on this Wrecking Ball. Go, little hamster, go. Errxrless Veil is in a great spot here, up 2, and all they need to do is get this third to capitalize this sort of awesome map win. And now you look at this ultimate economy. Full Sail Armada is over the Errxrless Veil with their ult, so maybe this is the best opportunity for Full Sail Armada to get back. Diz needs a great placement of mines here up on this next objective, but as well, Dashy could get a nice nasty blade if Rain were to speed in, but as well, miss with that pulse.
Diz gonna pile drive down there onto Levi, force out the Suzu pretty early on, and the overdrive there from your boy to make sure they're all healed up here. But one thing that Errxrless or Full Sail cannot allow happen is, you know, a loss early on here. But hey, 3 ults being invested into this one here. Yeah, you should win fights like that, and so far that is the case. They are gonna be able to win this fight here. It looks like everyone on Errxrless is either just running to the mines or running back to the spawn.
Yeah, it's definitely that, I'd probably say. But yeah, I gotta say here, Dex, now, Full Sail Armada, you got to see how much ultimates they just used. So you only have Genji Blade. That's something that you need to use very, very importantly here, because Errxrless Val is coming back with 2 to 3, which this is going to be such an important fight.
Blade coming out here from Dash needs to be able to find something here, especially as you lose Rain early on, but they're just slashing at air here. Has to use the deflex, so that Blade not going to lead to anything at the moment. Errxrless, oh, so close to capping the point here, but Dash going to be able to find your boy. They don't need the Dragon Blade to be able to find them. Groff going to be able to trade them right back out here, but again, you have Diz here on point. If you're Full Sail, you just want them to stall this out as long as they can here, and they're doing a pretty good job of that so far, especially as you see more members of the Armada coming back in. Reigns back into the engagement, already being able to find 2. This looks like a point that should go over to Armada.
Yeah, and as we get to see that kill feed still running up in the names of the Armada and Errxrless Val, they're going to have to sit back up into their chair and focus, right? We have a series now up in Servo. Also 1-2, Errxrless Val, they have 2 ultimates up in their economy. Turbo will have that pulse bomb. Same with your boy. So 4 ults coming out of the Val here very, very shortly. But something to say is how important they place these ultimates, right? Errxrless Val has been in such great situations, and their awareness has been a lot better the Full Sail Armada side, but can't Armada find that awareness against Val?
Levi barely keeping themselves alive there, but they switched up right in front of Mist. However, Mist could be taken out by your boy, and this is someone that Errxrless needs to come back alive here. They were a menace these first couple points, but now the Blade coming out from Groff, the Consumers coming out from the other side to try to counter out. Mines are out there as well, but Groff going to be able to find 2 right there. Mines, though, really going to force Errxrless here to play incredibly passive on the point.
So here we go. Errxrless Val read the opposition of Full Sail Armada, but Full Sail Armada still saving those ultimates. I like what they're doing, but you get to see Diz and Ray. They don't have theirs. Errxrless Val, though, playing pretty smart, I'd probably say, for the Armada as well. Diz, though, if you are them, they're gonna get a tad bit more aggressive, especially when Shubu has those mines.
Pulse bomb coming out there from Mist, gonna only find the ground. Same thing with Turbos right there, finds the ground as well. Rain invests the beat here. So already Full Sail investing their 2 ultimates they had ready to go right now. There's the mines on the middle of the point, and Diz, oh, they could see that they were in trouble from the moment they walked in. They're going to be able to not escape as Groff finds them out. And now Full Sail, I mean, at this point here, you're trying to maybe get one. Hey, you're going to be able to find that one there onto Levi, but this is a fight you want to back out and have a quick reset here. You lose out this fight any longer, you're putting yourself into a very sticky situation.
Yeah, stuff needs to be kicking here for Full Sail Armada in these next couple of fights. You're getting to see this 80% here for Errxrless Val. They're running with it as it currently is. But yeah, boy, they are going to have their ultimate. So only a Lucio beat up on the side of Val. But Full Sail Armada could do some damage with that Blade.
And hey, they find Levi out here early on. They're going to be able to trade up. Your boy has that beat coming up here. Do they invest it if they see the Blade? No, they don't even want to see the Blade. They just pop it. If they can find Dash, it could be huge. They find Ray. There's no supports on the other side of Armada at the moment, but there's the Blade. It's going to be able to find your boy out here. They're looking for their next target. They find their next target right there, but they're not going to be able to find anyone just yet with it. Errxrless, I mean, you could back up out of this one here, but Shubu back in will find one. At this point, if you're Errxrless, I mean, you're stalling out, just trying to build up some ult percentage here. Oh.
Yeah, Dash is cooking. And as we get to see, the Fury does get out here, but Ball's still fighting. Mines were popped. Wait, this?
A little early on the mines. I understand that you want to just get the point cap, but remember, we talked about a huge mistake that came in the first map. Hopefully, we're not talking about it the same way this map.
Yeah, and as we get to see, you know, Diz going up and down there with the camera, trying to say yes to their teammates. But Errxrless Val, you're going to have Turbo's pulse. I expect this to hit the back, but as well, Shubu's going to be a massive change for this fight here. You get to see mines, and especially Diz don't have theirs. It's going to probably be more of Errxrless here.
beat, and the Kitsune Rush coming out there from Full Sail Armada, double commando support ultimates, exactly what Errxrless wanted there. You did invest everything you had if you were Errxrless into this one as well, especially with the blade coming out, but the mines, they find Rain. The Boob gonna be able to take one out as well. The blade doing its job there. Now, if you are Errxrless, you're just here to clean up. You just have to get rid of this one last Wrecking Ball. You'll do that there, cap the point, and I don't think anyone from Full Sail Armada will be able to get back in time here. Errxrless Veil gonna go on to series point after 2 maps.
Yeah, and this is a win or go home scenario. So if Full Sail Armada needs to lock in here, they need to do it up in their next couple maps. But I will say, Full Sail Armada, they are fighting against this Errxrless Veil side. You get to see situations where Errxrless Veil kind of reads the team, but Full Sail Armada, they flip it back. But in the end scenario, I am seeing more of Errxrless Veil read this side of Full Sail Armada in these situations more than Full Sail reading the side of Errxrless.
Yeah, and we definitely saw it as that map went on, especially as that first point went on. Full Sail Armada, I felt like they got comfortable with how they were playing this Wrecking Ball comp. They weren't able to win that first point, but they made the second point incredibly close. That third point was, they won it there. And then that fourth point as well. I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, Full Sail, it seems like they're figuring out Errxrless Veil's composition here, but I feel like we're seeing a little bit of a difference here when it comes to those support lines. I mean, we called out your boy a lot in that map. The fact that they were able to find kills as often as they were and as early as they were on the Lucio really did help out Errxrless Veil in a lot of the key fights.
Hey, maybe he was your boy, I mean, your boy was popping off. But yeah, Errxrless Veil, so much players to mention there for them. The support line was cooking. As we got to see, the Lucio was always there up in the scenarios, but the tanks from both of the sides, they were finding those kill credits. But yeah, stuff's to say. Stuff to say.
Yeah, but with that being the end of our second map, we're going to throw it over to a quick break and then be right back with our third and potential final map of this series, unless Full Sail Armada has something to say about it. But everyone, stick around. We'll be right back. right, welcome back, everyone, from that halftime break there. Errxrless Vale, one map win away from moving on in these playoffs. Full Sail Armada, though, it might be down 0-2 in that scoreboard right now, but Nyah, we both said it there. That last map gave us a lot of confidence in how they are playing, that they could make this into a series here.
Yeah, and a lot of intel information from Full Sail Armada 2 to maybe make that great choice for themselves. But as well, Errxrless Vale, we got hero bands up next. We as well have a map which we're heading to. And yeah, as we get to see, it's going to be King's Row. So a lot can get played there. If they don't target a band that's important, if you're Full Sail Armada, you got to take something out that's important.
Yeah, and I know we used to have the normal, like, okay, these are the main two maps we see. Can we all agree that this is the trio? This is like the three maps that, if you're given the options, are gonna be the ones you see all the time. Lijiang, Surabasa, and King's Row. Maybe not in that order, but I feel like if you have the choice to pick, you're gonna see these maps pretty early on in almost any series. But like you said, Nyah, we do know what our bans are. Full Sail Armada banning out the Kiriko here. And Errxrless Vale banning out the Winston, which, I mean, we talked about it. I talk about it every time we're going into King's Row, mostly known as a brawl map, but Winston has started, especially in the last year and a half, started to find a lot of value and a lot of play on this map.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hero bans from both here, but I will say, if you are Full Sail Armada, this ban might just bite you. If I were them, I would probably target the Lucio. I mean, the Lucio was cooking. Like, your boy was always up in the kill feed, speeding the team around, and not taking that out here could be costly, because if you're Errxrless Vale, you have King's Row, which is brawlable, right? So King's Row could be a great scenario now for them.
God, I love our map. I love it when no one decides to pick King's Row. But I mean, coming out of the gate here, looks like we will have that sub coming in for Full Sail Armada. It looks like actually Diz is going to be moving over to the DPS line, while Archive is going to be coming in here for Dash, who was on that DPS line before. So, I mean, this is what we kind of expected to see. We know that Arc is a little bit more of that brawly tank, so this makes sense. But on the other side, I mean, they were teasing us with Hog, but we only knew that was a tease, Nyah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Good thing I didn't call it, right? Because, like, usually I call stuff early, but hey, I'm here. I'm not doing that. Errxrless Vale, though, they are running out here up onto this ball. This is not, too unexpected, but yeah, I expect this to go great for them. They still have this great backline of your boy playing this Lucio, so I expect this to go really, really fast for Errxrless Vale into Full Sail.
And like we said, a lot of the fights that Errxrless was able to win handily last map came off of your boy finding very, very early picks here, following up Shubu here. But I love how Errxrless is playing this, trying to get everyone on the high ground. And hello there, that's a wrecking ball up on your high ground where you didn't know they were. They're gonna be put to sleep here, forced to roll back out. But I mean, Errxrless Vale, you can see they want to play fast.
Yeah, and Armada, they do have this sleep dart of Rain that could take out Shubu in these situational fights. But as we can see, that pick is huge.
And this entire composition for Full Sail is basically built around Arc being able to stay on the point as long as they can. Diz could stall out, but they stall themselves out in a corner, and yeah, that pull is not necessarily going to save them there. There should be the first point going over to Errxrless here, and if you're Full Sail, I would expect some swaps coming out here. You already see one from Arc.
Yeah, and that Reinhardt coming out here from Arc, as you did quote, but as well, oh my gosh, wait, Anti? Wait, what's happening back there?
I mean, you see this a lot on this map. Once that team knows they're going to win the first point, they play aggressively into it, but Full Sail was basically able to respawn in their initial spawn, so, I mean, you see them playing kind of cautiously at the moment.
Yeah, so Full Sail Armada, they gotta find a great, choice for them here. I like what they have now. Maybe they could play a little more slower into this fast pace, read it just a tad bit more, but Shubu is dangerous. Same with your boy. If they can catch them out of like a flank, that could be the best opportunity for them.
Speaking of Shubu, where are they? Oh, there they are. They're in your backline. They're going to be put to sleep but immediately woken up. They're going to be pinned away here, hacked and no, anti-it out. So that's a good start here for Full Sail, but you will lose Diz with it there. But I mean, you have your tank, and look what that is doing here to Errxrless.
Yeah, so Full Sail Armada, you are taking this space, which is great here for Archive and Full Sail. Now you're able to control this Errxrless Veil side, but you get to see Errxrless Dex. They caught a lot of dangerous ultimates, which those could get popped any second now, but a great pick.
And getting rid of your boy, like we said, they normally are the one who's following up Shubu there. That's why they were so close to that, and Arc was able to take him out. The nano coming out from Rain onto Arc just before they die there is huge. They're going to be able to find Graf because of it. And now, though, you see the push having to be stalled out here. Arc does have the Shatter ready to go, but if you're Errxrless, you have really nothing that can stop it here, so you don't want to get completely caught out here.
Yeah, this is interesting choices here from Full Sail Armada, but they still got to be aware here of Errxrless Veil. They got 4 ultimates, almost 5 with your boys, but the mines are out.
Suzu also out. Actually, no, there's no Suzu on that side right there. But Turbo going to be able to find Arc. No Shatter going to come this fight here. And if you're Errxrless, you're looking to clean this one up as fast as you can because you could push this card here to completion. And if you're Diz, you are looking to burrow yourself in the ground. But Shubu's going to make sure that they're the one to do it themselves. Now, if they can find 1 or 2 more picks here, I don't think Full Sail will be able to come back out and contest. But you do see Arc coming back.
Hey, if you're Full Sail Armada, you gotta play pinball with that wrecking ball, right? You gotta focus Shubu as much as possible here if you are Full Sail Armada, but as well, this backline, you gotta take out that pressure of that anti that can hit you, right? But so much ultimates getting popped here.
Overclock's coming out from both sides. There's the Shatter. I don't think it landed on anyone right there, and you lose Arc here to get everything started. But Miss gonna be able to trade Turbo out. But there's the Tectonic Shocks coming out, doing a lot of damage, and your boy finding kills. That is always a good thing here for this Errxrless team, and they're gonna be able to just ride that kind of wave. They're already to a second point here. 4 minutes on the clock for them.
And we got to see here from Errxrless Veil, they used 3 ultimates there. I believe Full Sail Armada kind of tried to capitalize that too with those ults. But now we're getting to see a scenario where Errxrless Veil, they're sitting good up in this ultimate economy. They have this space to take against Full Sail. But look at Errxrless with the mines.
Oh, and missed. They tried sliding out of them before those mines primed, but it was a little bit of a costly mistake right there. Tectonic Shock now coming out from Diz, not going to be able to find anyone right there. Actually, their counterpart on the other side going to be able to find them out. Arc now in a corner, and they are just not going to be able to escape there. Errxrless just kind of running through this last point.
Yeah, and Errxrless and your boy have been doing such a great job with this beat matrix. I will also say your boy has been using this beat pretty aggressively, not holding it for these other ultimates that could cost them their life. But I like the choices. They're pushing this way, way further back.
And I love the target focus there. Graf gonna be able to get Arc off the map. Levi finds Rain, and now if you're Full Sail, who are your stallers? You lose Diz. Yeah, Juno can be a stall, but it's not necessarily a good one. Miss falls, Juno the last one left alive, and Errxrless Veil gonna complete the map with an incredibly strong time bank of 2 minutes 37 seconds.
2 minutes and 37 seconds is a time to work with. But hey, we got a team that basically says Errxrless, right? So yeah. I gotta say, they're kind of making that statement, right? We get to see them always up in that fight, go forward, go forward, go forward. And they're not stopping, right? That aggression is pushing that Full Sail Armada side back. And I feel like if Full Sail Armada were to equalize in those scenarios, it's still going to be extremely difficult. We got to see ultimate economy fights happen in between both of the sides, more going in the favor of Errxrless Veil, because the last couple of maps that we've gotten to see here, Dex, throughout the series, Errxrless Veil has been ultimate, tracking. Their ultimate economy has been better by far of Full Sail Armada, even though if Full Sail Armada were to have a good ultimate economy, they would put those ultimates out just a tad bit earlier, and I think that's something that would cost them up in those team fights, like how we got to see up on Surabasa, for example.
Yeah. But look what Full Sail's coming out with here to start. I mean, the second time we're seeing the Queen come out, not necessarily a big surprise, but we didn't really see the Queen that much last map. Remember, Diz was playing tank. They immediately swapped over to Ball, which I think was a much better play here for them. But we know that Arc is their Brawl. No, is their dive tank here. No,
yeah,
it was dive. I forget. I think Diz was their dive, Arc was their Brawl.
Let's see what this Wrecking Ball does, though. Like, Shibu's taking this high ground that slams up into the Soch.
Target selection. They always want to try to get one out here early on. I mean, you've seen Grofgar. They were in that backline as well, waiting for that pile drive to come in. And again, everyone on Full Sail knows that Shubu is back here, but they're just trying to, find an odd man out on the other side. Miss Diz very low on health here. Diz actually cannot be healed up at the moment. Groff going to be able to find range. Shubu, though, not going to be able to escape, but I think their team should be able to clean this one up here. But, I mean, they're falling back at the moment.
Yeah, and Full Sail Armada, they could possibly get a pick here. They need to find some sort of answer, but Errxrless, Val able to capitalize up on the miss.
And I mean, we've talked about how good Shubu and your boy have been all night long here for this Errxrless Veil team. But Grofgar and Turbo has been a solid DPS lineup here, especially with Groff on this venture. I mean, they were able to basically stall out that point on their own there and actually force Full Sail back there.
Yeah, I agree. Full Sail Armada still in a tough position, though. You gotta push your way into this front line of Errxrless Veil, which has been disgusting by far, as we get to see more up in the kill feed from them.
And you don't ever want to see that as support. You see all those low health icons right there. Ray could do what they can, but it just wasn't going to be enough there in the end. Turbo finds Rain out, and I mean, this is another reset here for the Armada, but you're looking at that time bank now, Nyah. Almost half of it already gone here, and you really haven't been able to get anything going on this point yet.
Yeah, so 2 minutes and 10 seconds here, setting up into the King's Row attack here for Full Sail Armada. They still haven't found an answer here if you are the Armada, but you do have this ultimate of Ray that could do something here. I feel like, it's just going to be able to shut down.
Again, it's the target focus, and we talked about coming into this round, Shubu and Grofgar are basically playing as a duo at the moment, just kind of hanging around that backline, trying to find the last person in. Diz going to be anteed up here, but everyone on Errxrless is going to have to kind of rotate around, but this is a scary ultimate, especially in a tight spot. Shubu going to be able to find one. Hey, the Tatai shocks won't lead to any kills, but you saw the panic come out there from Full Sail Armada. And Nyah, less than 90 seconds left to go for them here. They are coming up.
Here we go. Yeah, ultimates still up on the board here for both of the teams here. Full Sail Armada needs to pick up this pace extremely quick here, Dax. The situation awareness hasn't been there for them throughout this whole entire King's Row, but maybe something could answer.
Miss will find Levi, but Turbo pops that overclock finding too, basically negating that orbital ray. Same thing with the mines from Shubu, basically stopping them from following that ray, and you see the fallback there from Full Sail. They still have 3 ultimates coming up here.
Yeah, so Full Sail Armada, you can have Archive engage off of that. JQ ultimate missed, could try and position up on the corner there, get something out of that backline, take out a nano, but Turbo able to find that answer real quick.
Your boy pops the beat right there. Rain popping that coalescence, gonna be able to keep Arc alive here. And now you have the rampage, you have your own overclock ready to go here. You need to get something up here. You also have a blade as well, but you're losing members. Diz pops the blade. There's gonna be no rampage this time around, and you see the overclock come out and miss. Struggling to find anyone here. Full Sail down to their last lifeline here, and they only have 1 ultimate.
Final 8 seconds here. Archive needs something extremely huge here. Will they even be able to get the touch? I don't even think they will. No, Dejuno will touch.
Ray gets the touch, but the pile drive. That is not what you wanted to see there. Trades going back and forth, though, even across the board at the moment. Diz finding Turbo right there, but Diz low health. They get taken out by Shubu. Shubu with 2. Levi taking the final pick here as Errxrless Veil comes in, finding their 3rd win of the season, but most importantly, keeping their season alive with a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, they are sticking into this one. Errxrless Veil, very, very dominant performance here. They read the opposition very, very well, I'd probably say. Full Sail Armada in situations against Errxrless Veil, they fell very much short. Errxrless Veil was just more in those scenarios. They had that awareness over Full Sail Armada, like how we got to see throughout the 3 maps. But Errxrless Veil will be the winners of this one, and they're going to be moving on, so more practice for them, but more matches.
Yeah, and we came into this series, especially when we went into the first map and saw that Errorless Veil was on this Wrecking Ball composition. And I did say, like, hey, if you struggle shutting down Wrecking Ball, you are going to have a big, big problem as the series goes on here. And that is something that Full Sail definitely did. We saw them go over to the Wrecking Ball themselves, and that's probably honestly the best that they looked was mirroring the Wrecking Ball, really forcing the teams to just play very, very aggressively all over the place, forcing stuff out early here. But we talked about it a little bit, Nyah. Two costly mistakes in those first two maps hurt Full Sail
Yeah.
Armada. And I mean, they didn't have any mistakes that third map, but it was just Errorless Veil kind of doing what they did in those first two maps, but just finishing this series up.
Yeah, if you're Full Sail Armada, you still put in a great fight against this, Errorless Veil side. You were trying to fix up your composition going into those other maps. Like how we got to see up on Suravasa, they got something against Airless Veil. But Full Sail Armada, even up on the first, they made that mistake. And with the mistake going into those other maps, I feel like, it was leaning up on them. They had a mistake up on their shoulders, and it just wasn't looking good.
Yeah, it just wasn't looking good. But I mean, Full Sail Armada, I'll always say this, one of the collegiate teams that's in the SPCS, and one of the ones that's in, I believe there's a couple here in this intermediate tier. I always love seeing them come out here. A great opportunity for some of the lower teams, or some of the teams just to get a little bit more experience. And I think Full Sail Armada, they're going to take away a lot from this year because they definitely did find something tonight that they just struggled up against. So this is a great learning. This is a great learning point here for them to bounce back. Hopefully next SPCX season or next fall when they come back together for the collegiate season.
Yeah, and it's gonna be exciting to see what they could do, what their roster could change, right? It's a collegiate team, so you get new students coming in, playing for that side of Full Sail Armada, but Airless Veil taking down a collegiate side. Now you got momentum going up in, you got a positive mental, and it's just great stuff for you. But if as as for myself, I know I'm a Full Sail fan, but it's unfortunate to see them get 3-0'd, but it's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it's unfortunate, but going over to the other side tonight of Errorless Veil here, they will be moving on to play Vagrants in their next round here. Vagrants was already one of those teams that was slotted in. So, I mean, you're going to have this series here for Vagrants to go back and watch and try to figure out what you can do. Maybe you found out, like, hey, get rid of the Wrecking Ball at least one map, but you have to hold on to it. Because, like you said, Naya, if Full Sail maybe gets a map or two there, we go to a map 5, we're probably seeing that Wrecking Ball ban come out. But, I mean, I feel like this Errorless Veil team, they showed us a lot tonight. Definitely a team that can make a little bit of a run here in this lower bracket,
Lower bracket, yeah.
especially if they go up against a team that struggles into the ball comp just like Full Sail tonight. And yeah, there you see it there. A lot of the lower brackets, these next rounds are kind of already set in stone as the series get played out here. Central Michigan, the other one of the other collegiate teams in this bracket, go 5 against Aura Fury and end up losing that one. So I think our two collegiate teams in playoffs here are out from the intermediate tier, which is a sad thing to see. But like I said, it's always great to see them in tournaments like this.
Hey, this stuff happens, but the more you play, the better practice you get, the more you improve, right? So, yeah, it's good looks from any team here up in this bracket. At least if they're playing, they're getting something, that intel description for what they could do up in the future with their team. But, I will say, we got to see a ball kind of pop off up on the side of Airless Veil. That was absolutely insane. Like, seeing a ball player do that much up on the side of Veil was so impressive into Full Sail Armada because the ball was swinging. Mines were getting dropped. It was just cooking.
Yeah, someone even said in the chat, like, is there something up with the Wrecking Balls? Because both of them on that Suravasa map were building up to minefields incredibly quickly. But that's just how much value you can get out of Wrecking Ball. Even if they continue, even if they nerf, I feel like the ult charge, Wrecking Ball will still be able to get incredibly fast just because of how much they can do, how fast they can move around, the damage they get just from bowling through people, pile drives, firing those kills. I mean, this was a composition that is very, very hard to shut down. And even when we did see Full Sail try to counter it out a little bit, just didn't do enough there. But
Yeah.
I mean, Airless Veil, a great series for them here. Hopefully they carry that momentum into the next round. But everyone, there's still one more match here at SPCS this week in the advanced tier tomorrow. I don't know what the series is, But it does start at 8:30, so you're
Oh.
not gonna wanna miss that one. I don't know what the series is. Let me see if I can quickly find it.
Yeah, I mean, that should definitely be interesting. Whether, what teams are playing, that should definitely be an interesting look. But,
Mhm.
I will say, I think we definitely got to mark somebody an MVP here for tonight. And I would probably say Errxrless ball player. Like the
Yeah.
ball was cooking. It was always there. We got to see so much action from them. But Shubu, absolute menace. I mean, a 5-star dish.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how their DPS line was doing a lot. We talked about how their support line was doing a lot as well. But Shubu was the basically the glue that held this team together right here. They did a lot based off what Shubu was able to do. I mean, we saw it there a lot of the times with your boy finding picks early on. They were following up Shubu. Shubu was just a menace
Yeah.
tonight and deservedly the MVP.
Yeah, very, very much deserved. Shubu with the coordination and communication throughout the whole entire team composition that they were running. They played it extremely well. But yeah, I'm proud of what Shubu did. Playing the wrecking ball for basically all the maps isn't a easy thing to do. It's
Mhm.
pretty difficult to stick to one singular comp. But when a team learns that composition over and over again, it tends to get easier.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But hey, I do know what the series is tomorrow now at 8:30, same time, same place here. It will be the Compeki Crushers going up against Bubble Tea. You're not going to want to miss that one. That should be a very, very exciting series in our advanced here. But Nyah, that will do it for us here tonight. Just want to give a quick shout to everyone behind the scenes of Person, Mr. Mountain Mike, and I believe we got Knock on Wood in there for one map, maybe two. Nyah, I want to thank you as well. But everyone, thank you so much for coming out to SPCS here tonight. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow for our final game of our first round of playoffs. Until then, hope you have a good night, and we'll see you then.